After 50, the same foods can do more harm than good. Science shows certain everyday foods increase inflammation and accelerate aging. This video reveals 7 foods you should avoid to protect long-term health. Welcome to the Fresh Fuel Guide. After age 50, metabolism, blood sugar control, and inflammation change significantly. Foods that once seemed harmless can place extra stress on the heart, brain, and collagen. This video breaks down 7 foods you should avoid after 50 to support healthier aging. Number 1. Processed meats. Increase chronic inflammation and damage the heart. Processed meats such as sausages, deli meats, bacon, ham, and salami appear frequently in many people's daily diets. This food group contains high levels of salt, saturated fat, and preservatives such as nitrites and nitrates. These components can trigger inflammatory responses in the body and, over time, increase stress on blood vessel walls. In older adults, the cardiovascular and nervous systems gradually lose their ability to repair themselves, which allows chronic inflammation to accumulate without producing obvious early symptoms. Multiple observational studies have reported an association between frequent processed meat consumption and a higher risk of cardiovascular disease. This food group also lacks dietary fiber and antioxidant compounds that are important for maintaining stable circulatory function. Healthier alternatives include minimally processed protein sources such as fish, fresh unseasoned poultry, eggs, and legumes like lentils or chickpeas. These options provide necessary protein with lower salt content and no chemical preservatives, helping reduce inflammatory burden and support long-term heart health. Number 2. Sugar-sweetened beverages raise blood sugar and promote chronic inflammation. Sugar-sweetened beverages such as sodas, energy drinks, milk tea, and bottled fruit juices are widely consumed in everyday life. This group of drinks contains large amounts of free sugars, often in the form of fructose or high fructose corn syrup, which cause rapid spikes in blood sugar shortly after consumption. When blood sugar rises sharply and repeatedly, the body must release more insulin to maintain control, increasing the risk of metabolic dysfunction and chronic inflammation. Liquid sugars do not produce the same sense of fullness as solid foods, making it easier to consume excess calories without realizing it. Multiple observational studies have reported an association between frequent intake of sugar-sweetened beverages and a higher risk of cardiovascular disease, fatty liver, and metabolic impairment. In addition, these drinks provide little to no fiber, vitamins, or beneficial minerals, while placing a growing burden on the cardiovascular and nervous systems over time. Healthier alternatives include plain water, unsweetened sparkling water, unsweetened tea, or small amounts of diluted fresh fruit juice. These options help maintain hydration without causing sharp blood sugar spikes, while supporting better inflammatory control and long-term metabolic health. Number 3. Refined carbohydrates raise blood sugar and impair metabolic control. Refined carbohydrates such as white bread, white rice, refined noodles, pastries, and products made with refined flour are common in daily meals. The refining process removes most of the natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals found in whole grains. When these foods are consumed, the body absorbs glucose more rapidly, leading to a rapid rise in blood sugar levels. Repeated, rapid blood sugar spikes force the body to release larger amounts of insulin to maintain balance, gradually weakening metabolic control over time. Multiple observational studies have shown that diets high in refined carbohydrates are associated with a higher risk of insulin resistance, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline as people age. In addition, the lack of dietary fiber in this food group disrupts gut microbiota, a factor increasingly linked to long-term heart and brain health. Healthier alternatives include whole grain carbohydrate sources such as brown rice, whole oats, whole grain bread, legumes, and sweet potatoes. These options provide more stable energy because of their higher fiber content. helping blood sugar rise more slowly and supporting balanced metabolic function over the long term. Number 4. Fried foods increase oxidative stress and damage blood vessels. Fried foods such as French fries, fried chicken, fried pastries, and fast food are commonly included in many daily meals. Frying at high temperatures alters fats and produces oxidative compounds, including aldehydes and advanced glycation end products. When the body frequently absorbs these compounds, antioxidant systems must work harder to neutralize them, which increases oxidative stress. Prolonged oxidative stress damages the vascular endothelium, reduces blood vessel flexibility, and impairs efficient blood flow. Multiple observational studies have reported an association between diets high in fried foods and a higher risk of cardiovascular disease as well as vascular dysfunction. In addition, this food group often delivers high energy density while providing few protective micronutrients, allowing damage to accumulate without meaningful nutritional benefit. Healthier alternatives include steaming, boiling, light sautéing with minimal oil, or baking at moderate temperatures. Options such as steamed fish, boiled vegetables, baked sweet potatoes, or simply cooked poultry help reduce the formation of oxidative compounds while preserving nutrients that support vascular and cardiovascular health over time. Number 5. High sodium foods increase blood pressure and overload the cardiovascular system. High sodium foods such as canned goods, packaged foods, pickled vegetables, salted meats, and ready-to-eat meals are common in modern diets. When the body consumes excessive sodium over long periods, the cardiovascular system must work harder to maintain fluid balance and blood pressure. Excess sodium increases blood volume, raising blood pressure and placing continuous strain on blood vessel walls. Over time, this process reduces vascular elasticity, forcing the heart to contract more forcefully to circulate blood throughout the body. Multiple epidemiological studies have documented an association between high sodium diets and a greater risk of hypertension, stroke, and cardiovascular disease. In addition, excess sodium intake can affect kidney function, an organ that plays a critical role in regulating blood pressure and filtering waste products from the blood. Healthier alternatives include meals prepared with fresh ingredients, lightly seasoned foods, and herbs and natural spices for flavor. Options such as fresh vegetables, steamed fish, lightly cooked poultry, and legumes help reduce sodium intake, support stable blood pressure, and ease long-term strain on the cardiovascular system. Number 6. Alcohol impairs brain function and increases cardiovascular strain. Alcohol commonly appears in social gatherings and daily habits for many people. When the body absorbs alcohol, the liver and central nervous system must prioritize processing it as a toxic substance. Alcohol metabolism produces acetaldehyde, a toxic compound that can damage nerve cells and trigger inflammatory responses. Regular alcohol consumption disrupts sleep, reduces concentration, and gradually affects memory over time. At the same time, alcohol raises blood pressure, increases the risk of heart rhythm disturbances, and adds extra workload to the heart during circulation. Multiple observational studies have reported an association between frequent alcohol intake and a higher risk of cognitive decline as well as cardiovascular events. In addition, alcohol interferes with the absorption of several essential nutrients and worsens dehydration, which can negatively affect brain and circulatory function. Healthier beverage alternatives include plain water, unsweetened sparkling water, herbal teas, or other non-alcoholic drinks. These options help maintain hydration without stressing the liver or cardiovascular system, while supporting more stable brain function over the long term. Number 7. Packaged sugary foods disrupt metabolism and weaken brain function. Packaged sugary foods such as cookies, cakes, candies, and processed desserts are frequently part of daily eating habits. This food group contains large amounts of refined sugar, which causes blood sugar levels to rise rapidly after consumption. When repeated blood sugar spikes occur, the body must release more insulin to maintain control, gradually weakening metabolic regulation. The brain depends on a stable supply of glucose to function efficiently. So frequent blood sugar fluctuations can impair concentration, memory, and mental energy. Multiple observational studies have reported an association between diets high in refined sugar and a higher risk of metabolic disorders as well as cognitive decline. In addition, packaged sugary foods provide little to no fiber or brain protective micronutrients, causing energy levels to rise quickly and then drop, often leading to fatigue afterward. Healthier alternatives include whole fresh fruits, unsweetened yogurt, or nuts. These options provide natural sweetness along with fiber, helping blood sugar rise more slowly and supporting more stable brain function. If you find this information helpful and want to keep learning how food affects the heart, brain, and the aging process in a scientific and practical way, subscribe to Fresh Fuel Guide to stay connected with upcoming videos. And next, we will bring everything together in the conclusion to help you apply these insights more easily in everyday life. The foods we've discussed may not cause immediate harm, but when consumed regularly, they can quietly accumulate negative effects on the heart, brain, and metabolism. The goal is not to eliminate every familiar food, but to understand how these foods affect the body so you can make smarter choices each day. By gradually reducing processed meats, sugary drinks, refined carbohydrates, fried foods, high-sodium items, alcohol, and packaged sweets, the body gains more opportunity to recover from inflammation and metabolic stress. A practical approach is to prioritize fresh, minimally processed foods and adjust habits step by step. Of everything we've shared today, which change feels easiest for you to start with right now? Leave a comment below to share and learn together. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.